as a Christian, and especially as a business leader. So here's the case study of Jesus the Nazarene. I think I've spoken about one, which is one of, and what I'm doing tonight is basically to stir up your spirit so that you begin to understand that when you are long gone, will your business still remain? When you are long gone, are you building just for profits, just to stay above the waters? How are you building for the future? And this is why you will see that even at Covenant Nation, there is what we call the deep bench, and people are going back. So for me now, if I see talent, young people, I mean, there's a young chap who has not even gone into university. He just wrote his jam today, for instance. That chap, the way he wrote, I mean, he's a graphic designer, but the way he composed message, I was like, this is a potential creative director. When I introduced him to the new, our current creative director, the guy said, this guy is deep. Because the truth about the matter is that you've got to begin to think about the future. Every time you think about the present, you are myopic about that. And the truth about the matter is that you might not actually go very far. Because if all you're thinking about is just profit as at now, the likelihood of you making that profit will be slim. You will just be above the waters. So Jesus had 3 years of operating. Core team members were 12. No investment by anyone. But today we've got about global followers of 2 billion people. No office, no budget, no seed round fund, just a system, a team, and a mission clear enough to outlive its founder. In Luke chapter 10, you find out that Jesus did a type of thing. He sent them 2 by 2, 70 of them. He sent them 2 by 2. He said, go and do these things, go and do that. And he gave them clear-cut instruction, almost like a crash course on training. Go out and go and do this thing. When you get to a particular house, if they do not receive you, he says, shake the dust off your feet and move on. If somebody gives you something, take it with love and ensure that you say thank you. He was giving them instructions on what they were supposed to do. Now, even as an organization, you must continually train and retrain the people and ensure that they are running on their own steam by themselves. Look at one of the team member. Peter is the doer, almost like the operations and the cultural manager. It was one of the people who even went to the Mount of Transfiguration with Jesus and Peter, James, and John. Who he was impulsive, he was vocal, he was extremely voracious, sometimes unstable, but deeply loyal and action-driven. What did he do? He took initiative when others hesitated, became a key driver of the early church. He set the tone for boldness and action. Do not mind that particular conversation where he actually denied Jesus, but the entire conversation was that Jesus strengthened him and he said to him, and these are the conversations we need to begin to think. Who is managing your operations at your work currently? Are you the same person who is doing it? Business translation, every business needs a Peter. Someone who gets things done, someone who moves fast, someone who doesn't overthink everything, just does. The founder lesson, don't kill the passion because it's not perfect. Train it, channel it, lead it. And that's what's happened. You see that Jesus knew that Peter was going to deny him, but he never told him until the last time, until the last day. Otherwise, he would have killed his spirit. And so we need to begin to understand that conversation. John is the storyteller who you can call the brands and communications person. He will say, I am the one that Jesus loves. Number one, he was reflective, he was deep, he was emotional. In fact, we have a what's it called now at Cerebrum, which is called the Six Thinking Arts. What's it called, a strategy document that allows us to think in a certain way. And one of it is called the Yellow Art that allows you to think emotionally. It's deep, is emotionally intelligent, known as the beloved. Not just known, he calls himself the beloved. What he did, he documented the mission, wrote key parts of the Bible. It was so loved to the point where he was supposed to die in a boiling water. But because of the love that he proclaimed that Jesus has for him, he actually escaped that and he died of a natural causes. One of the persons who also wrote the book of Revelation. He documented the mission, wrote the key parts in the Bible, captured the message, and he was talking to a global audience from the get-go. He did not know that the global audience was going to read him. He wrote the brand manual. He spoke from his heart, and he spoke what everybody missed out. Preserve the voice of the movement. And listen, one of the things you must also understand is that begin to pray that God will bring the right set of people into your business so that they can carry the day. It is important that, money is transactional, all right? It's used for transaction, but it's not sustainable in a business. You need passion. That's why you will see that generational wealth is built on the premise of that. When a man comes back from work, his children sees how tired he is, and they are wondering to what extent is this thing is. You should know that this thing is way much more than money. Money is important, but the entire conversation is way much more than money. What is the business translation? Every business needs a John, someone who can tell the story, the custodian of the business. There are folks who are quiet and they're in the business. They don't just love you, but they believe in that which you're doing. Everybody needs to find those kind of people. Someone, I mean, I've got one in my business, and he's been with me from the get-go of the business. He's quiet, intelligent, and you can see the lapses. But the truth about the matter is that they are the olders of the culture. Someone who tells a story, someone who shapes your brand voice, someone who connects emotionally with your audience, and they know how to trigger certain things. What is the lesson for the founder? If you don't tell your story well, the market will ignore your value. The moment you don't know how to tell your story correctly, nobody will recognize your value. And these are the things that a founder must begin to understand. Now, if you take all the lessons of a founder from here, you'll realize that you are going to build a strong culture rather than build something that is predicated only on money. Matthew is the numbers brain. He was a tax collector who was detail oriented, system driven, and financially aware. He was extremely systems driven. He was financially aware, understood the value system. Everybody needs an accountant. If you do not have an accountant within your organization, in fact, even with the tax system of Nigeria right now, you will be on the wrong side of the law. Understood the value systems and the records, brought structure to how things were tracked. What is the business translation? Every business needs a Matthew, someone who understands money, who tracks performance, who ensure that you have your profit and loss in check, someone who brings order to the numbers. The founder's lesson is that passion without numbers is dangerous. At some point, they were going to go get money and give to the tax collector. Jesus gave them the instruction as a founder, go to this place, to the mouth of the fish. You will get the money from there. Growth without tracking is guesswork. You will see that it must have been Matthew who actually brought those people to make them sit down in 50s, in hundreds, and he said this thing, and this thing multiplied into that next level. Thomas, the questionnaire, I mean, we'll call him the questionnaire, well, they call him Doubting Thomas, but he's the person who is the quality control person. He's the risk taker. He's the one who says, well, let's slow down here. You might have done all the maths and stuff and the business analysis and stuff, but we need to calm down. Everybody within your organization, you need in my organization, we have some guy who is called the quality control head, essentially, because in our business, if you miss out on a comma, on a full stop, or a question mark, any punctuation can cost you your business. It's that sensitive. So famously doubted, asked hard questions. It says, until I touch Jesus, until I put my hand inside the hole, I do not believe he's the one. What he did, he challenged the assumptions. Don't just come. If Thomas was here today, everything would be AI. If he sees this thing running like this, no, it's not the one. Until I see myself, this thing is AI. Challenge assumptions, sought proof before belief, force clarity in uncertain moments. What is the translation to business? Someone who asks, are we sure in the direction we're going? Someone who sees risk early, someone who prevents costly mistakes. Not every question is negative, and the founder understands this. And Jesus didn't even claim, says, no problem, come and see, come and touch yourself. Can you touch it? If you can touch it, then you are rest assured that we're good. Some questions save your business. It will save your business in every way. Judas, the treasury, the governance, all right, it was the one holding the money. You need people who are holding the money. As a matter of fact, it was the same Judas, all right, who was saying to the woman who broke the alabaster box on Jesus's head, and he says that, and he says, this thing can be used for this. Handle the money. He was close to the mission. I know a lot of people begin to see the negativity in some of these people. Everybody has one comma or whatever in their lives, but the truth about the matter is that when you stay true to the right set of people, there will be those one-offs and things that happen that probably will change history. But the truth about the matter is that everyone served their purpose. Did Jesus know that Judas has that problem? Of course he knew. Handle the money, was close to the mission, but ultimately misaligned. But the truth about the matter is that we can't take it away that he did his job at that point in time. What he did, had access, had responsibility. All right. I'm not going to even think about the negativity that he did. But to be honest with you, that dude, all right, was the one keeping every single thing together. Every business must understand that skill is not equals to loyalty. That you have skill doesn't mean loyalty. Proximity is not alignment. Access without accountability is extremely dangerous. I think Jesus knew, which was why he was let go. And there was the lesson here. Don't build your business on trust alone. Build systems, checks, and accountability from time to time. Ensure that things are being checked, across board. So the development model of Jesus, what is the development model that he used? Number 1 was exposure. Number 2 was responsibility. Number 3 was correction. And then number 4 was empowerment. So you will see that Jesus exposed them to the miracles, exposed them to his teaching at some points when he would, and this is where the training happened. You will see in Acts chapter 1, I think, and was speaking that what Jesus, he says, "Oh Theophilus," Acts chapter 1, what Jesus began to do and to teach. You will see that all these things are critical. If you have not exposed, I mean, one of the things we did when we started our Celebrate was to expose people. I mean, the young guys who came in there, we exposed them to the managing directors of businesses and stuff and all of that. I'm sure some of them who probably have left don't even have that level of exposure anymore. So not just to the result, radical transparency. Jesus, they saw Jesus at some point when he was tired. In fact, when he was going to multiply the loaves, Apostle John, John the Baptist had just died, and they came to bring the news. And in fact, they said to him, "Let them go." They saw the humanity of Jesus. They saw how he responded to things. He exposed them to the reality on ground. Number two is the responsibility. He allowed them to also do these things. He sent them out. The first test was in Luke chapter 10. Send them out 2 by 2. Go and practice this thing. They came back and they were screaming. Jesus, even the demon were finding expression. Allow your people to go for these things, do things by themselves. Let them see those things themselves. Number three, correct them when they make mistakes. Jesus rebuked Peter twice, not just even when he was saying to him that you will not go to the cross. When he cut that person's hair, he told him that this thing is going to prevent me from going into this place. And then number four, he says, go out into the world. Matthew 28:19, preach the gospel. Listen, your business becomes your gospel. You begin to preach that until people are sleeping, eating, and drinking your business. Listen, you can even have people who are within the organization, and their loyalty is actually not to the organization. Their loyalty is to their own business, or whatever that business is. And you can tell from their body language. You can tell what predominantly occupies their mind. And those things, people don't know that one of the things a founder knows how to do is to carry non-verbal cues. You begin to see what these people are probably not seeing. That if push comes to shove, you know that even Peter wasn't totally totally committed, because after Jesus died and resurrected and ascended, he went back. Sorry, before ascension, he went back into fishing. He went back into fishing. It was Jesus that had to call him back again. So some of those people, you will see in their body language, when they are in meetings, they are not paying attention. Where their heart is not in you. The business is not what they are focused on. They are focused on other things. Those kind of people. And that's what Jesus was saying. Do not give what is holy to dogs. Don't give pearls. And so don't begin to train loyalty. You can't train loyalty. It is inborn. When you see people who are feeling the pain that you are feeling, those are your people. And you begin to know from the way these things are going. And so don't even force it. That's why you see that when they said things was growing, it says the enemy came to sow tears. Jesus says, leave it, let them grow. Let the tears and the real thing grow. In the end, we will separate the shaft from the wheat. We will do that, but let those things grow. So as leaders, you must have that level of emotional intelligence to begin to assimilate all the things. Believe everything that you see. Believe every single thing that you see. The non-verbal cues, the absence from things, the his to take on responsibility, the people who are running away from responsibility. Note every single thing. Do not be blindsided. Note every single thing. So building a business that scales without you. Number one, the founder, does everything. The founder delegates tasks. The founder delegates outcomes. The founder leads the vision only. All right. Now, to go to what is apply this today, the 5-move playbook, audit your dependency, list every critical task only you can do. That list is your structural risk. List those things that are there things that only me can do. Design your organizational chart for tomorrow. Draw the structure your business needs in 2 years, then hire towards that. Create your disciple of each role. Every role. Now, sometimes you might not have gotten the right people at the time, and understand that we haven't gotten there, but we'll get there. Create your disciple, the people who are feeling your pain, who understand what it means. There are some people who don't know what it takes to even pay salaries. Those people, don't give them anything, or don't give them a seat at the table. Do not cast what is holy to dogs. Create your disciple. And the way to know is that they may have the longing. Have you ever thought about it? Why did Jesus have to go to Apostle Paul, even after every single thing? The man had passion. The man had fire. And the fire was for truth. It wasn't so much that he was a bad person. It was the truth that he imbibed. That, Christians must be persecuted. Christians must be done in a certain way. He didn't get the right structure. He didn't know the right truth, but he had passion. And Jesus needed somebody who had that level of passion. And you can see what happened and how the word of God prevailed and grew in the entire place. Build your own operating rhythm. Weekly team rituals, monthly reviews, quarterly strategy. Rhythm is structure in motion. You must have that dance that helps you. Listen, anybody who would ever succeed in business, they don't just have structure. They must have a certain rhythm. And rhythm sometimes can be boring. Go and check anybody who is dancing salsa, who is dancing this thing. Sometimes even football. Most of, there's a particular player who used to be a Chelsea player, never liked to train, but was extremely good. He was cut short in his prime, even though everybody knew how skillful he was. But to be honest, if you don't train, he started picking up injury. Routine helps you in life. Wake up early, have certain things that you do. Even sometimes people may say you are predictable, but it is okay. That dance is what leads to an effectual thing. You will see that a soldier has a routine. Hardly will you see a soldier in Nigeria or anywhere that has a pot belly. They have a routine. I'm not talking police. I'm saying soldiers. They have a routine that they go through. Build your operating rhythm, weekly team rituals. Number 5, define your Judas criteria. Decide now what misalignment looks like. Don't wait until you are betrayed before you know that you have been betrayed. So structure is love, team is strategy. Loving your team means investing in their growth. Loving your mission means building a system that outlives you. Loving your business means making yourself replaceable. Don't build a business that needs you. Build one that others are proud to carry forward. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. That's the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, I would be happy to take them right now.
Thank you so much, sir. Very grateful, sir. Thank you, sir. First question. We need those slides.
You get it. You get it. Most definitely,
All
you
right.
get it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, guys, any
Thank you.
questions?
All right.
Yes, it was fantastic. Yes, yes. Fantastic. Any questions? Any questions?
My hand is raised, though.
Where is your hand that is raised? I'm looking
All
for the
right. Please
hand.
go ahead, please.
My hand is raised. Okay, thank you
Oh,
very
yeah.
much, Pastor Wale, for this wonderful presentation. It was really, really, really insightful.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just want to ask, I'm a small business owner. Like, I don't know if I should call it a one-man business. It's just me and my assistant. Yes, we do weekly meetings, like on a WhatsApp call. We just review, things we did right, things we didn't do well. Because I'm rendering service and I'm also into buying and selling. It's a pharmacy, actually. Am I audible, sir?
No, so it's going in and out. It's actually going in and out. So I could hear you. I heard you do WhatsApp call, and then you also have what's it called now? Your rendering
A
service.
pharmacy.
Oh, a
Yes, it has a
pharmacy. I didn't
pharmacy.
hear that. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a
Go
It has
ahead.
a
pharmacy.
pharmacy.
So it's just
So
me
what's the
and
question?
it's just me and my assistant. But recently, I'm just thinking of employing one more person. Although I'm not too sure of how I'm going to, balance the payment of salary. But I feel if I get one more person, it will improve my business in the sense that I just do 8 to 8. Like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. But I feel if I get one more person, one more staff, and we run shifts, one person morning till afternoon, other person afternoon till evening, till night, let's say like 10 p.m., I'll be able to make more sales. Now,
Okay.
that's my question. For a small business, you think that is advisable? That's one. And
So
then secondly, am I audible, sir?
yes, yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Just continue.
Then
Next question.
secondly, how do I really, really build this structure? Because
Actually,
most of the things I'm doing there, it's just like a try and error for me. I just thought of something. Okay, let's just do it this way. Let's try it this way. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. And I feel somehow, but how do I really create this structure? How do I build this structure in such a way that it will not shake me as a small scale business owner? Thank you, sir.
all right. So one of the first things about business is you setting goals. Sometimes some goals are not realistic because you are probably overreaching. But the real truth about the matter is that, and I'm going to use myself as an example. Sometimes you think whatever margin that you have, and usually there's like a dance around this. And what is the dance? So somebody says, "What is your profit?" Whatever your profit is, use 20% of your profits to invest in people in the business. So 20% of your profit must go back into the business, which is that I want to hire more people. So let's say, for instance, you have what is called profit and loss, right? And you can actually hire somebody else, and you will see if you have a clear-cut mandate for that person, that this person that I'm bringing in, this is what it is that I want this person to be able to do, you actually achieve it, and even much more. And one of the things that kind of stunts the growth of a small medium enterprise is fear. So they are afraid that, what if I had this person? I'm barely breaking even. What am I going to do? There are several different, strategies to hire staff. All right. And you can actually do that in the most, I mean, again, because we're Christians, there's certain conversations that you have to take back to God. And when you take those things back to God, what you find out is that it will bring the right set of people to you so that it would impact your business. It's not just about hiring, no, because you can hire people who will come and mess up whatever growth that you've had. So the first thing you do is actually ask God, all right, on the right set of people to bring into the business. In fact, if you begin to have, I think I was teaching at Joseph Business School, and I was speaking to them about somebody who also run a pharmacy, and he said the pharmacy was actually successful, but it needs to make some changes because they are potential. I said, yes, they are potential, but the truth about the matter is that when you ask God about this conversation, you are afraid about it. Your intuition in some way tells you that this is the way you should go. When you miss out on that thing, you have actually missed out on something really big. So to be honest, I think you should have that particular person, all right, and have a clear cut what's it called now, target for that person to reach in terms of what you want to do. I hope that answers the question because that's what I got. I'm thinking or I'm
Yes, sir.
assuming that you're trying to scale your business. All right. Yeah.
Yes, sir. On the second one, how do
Yeah.
I place structure for a small business? Something that will not shake
All right
me.
then.
For instance,
Sorry? Is somebody asking a question? No?
I just
So,
I just
spend it.
learned my answer from you, sir.
Oh, okay.
And I
Okay.
also wanted to buttress on the structure. I didn't really understand that aspect. Like, how do I really create a structure for, like, as a small business owner that will not shake me or affect my staff and I?
Okay. Every business actually starts out. So one of the first structure you need to create is the finance aspect, which is why I went through the process of the disciples. You need to have a finance person, even if the finance person is an outsourced person. You need to, as a life changing strategy. Now, let me give you one of the things the finance person will say to you is that you will bring your books to him or her, and he will look at what your inflow had been and what your outflow had been. When that person checks your inflow and outflow, they will tell you clear cut from just your bank statements that you have been spending rightly or you have been spending wrongly. And that if you make adjustments here and there, this is what the loophole will look like. I don't think how many of you, if we, by show of hands, how many of you have seen your statements? Not that you're going for visa application, you have seen your own bank statements in the last 2 years. Just raise your hand. If you're running business, you've seen your bank statement, or even your personal statements. Let's not even your business. By show of hands, have you seen? Just raise your hand if you've checked your whole business, your books in the last 2 years. All right. Now, have you interpreted it in a way that made sense to you to see whether you were actually spending correctly or not? Can you see that the hands are few and far and in between? So what that means is that a lot of people don't go back to do an audit trail of things. In fact, most times the reason why people go and check their statements, if whether there was a reversal or something or what's it called, usually that's when they do that. But if you make it a life long conversation, which means that I am going to be very intentional about my growth, which is that, and it's not just you. If an independent eye looks at your books, the first place you need to structure is finance. That's the first thing. Anybody who is starting in business, do you have a structure that does your inflow and your outflow, or is your name on every single thing? If you don't have that kind of structure, it becomes extremely difficult. The number two thing, in terms of putting structure, do you pay yourself salaries or do you spend from your company account? Do you have a space, for instance, where you run the business, or do you think, Lagos people are shafting me? Do you have a reason why you should do that? Even if it's a small office, but you have a structure. Let's say, for instance, you're selling clothes and stuff. Do you have a proper place where all those things are kept so that you can see road? I hope you know that every time you find a place that is clumsy, you actually cannot actually visualize beyond what it is that you see. If you have somebody who has a lot of clothes, the likelihood of them wearing, all right, clothes that are nice or putting them in the back burner is very, very slim. And that's why, sorry to the women. Women don't always have clothes because it's too much. What they have is always too much. And sometimes they've even forgotten that they have one cloth there that is really nice because everything is all packed and inside. So structure actually allows you to see clearly. So if you say as a small medium enterprise, look at it right now. Your stocks, your finance, your marketing, how is it done? And don't say you're a small medium enterprise, because every time you say that I'm a small medium enterprise, what you're saying is that you're also reinforcing certain behavioral pattern. Somebody came to me in recent times and was saying, that he does this Ashoke stuff and all of that. And he saw his design. that he gave his design to someone and somebody had mass produced it. I said, what did you do? He said, I was very angry. I said, you're stupid, because you being angry doesn't make any sense. Go back to that place where you saw that design and you saw it in Yaba. Go to that place and ask them who gave it to you. Now go and make that connection to that person and start supplying them directly. He said, I can do that. I said, yes. You are just getting angry for nothing. What does anger do? You are here, don't have money. You have carried, somebody has carried your design. What should you do? Carry that same design. Look, go and check, trace that value chain, and be the one to supply them. There is more from where it came from. And so it's important for us to begin to understand the dynamics of structure. Structure only comes when you have had your finance in check, your marketing in check, your operations in check. If you have those three things, I think you'll begin to see road in a way and manner in which you can grow. I hope that helps you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. There's a question I'm just going to read from the chat.
Right.
Someone asks, she said, what if it is a voluntary organization, like an NGO, and you have volunteers, so, they might give excuses and all that. So what do you do? So just advice for her.
Okay, so for everything, I mean, like Jesus's conversation is almost like a voluntary organization. That was why Peter shouted when he says that it will be different. When Jesus said, when the man came, the rich man came, and he said to Jesus, he says, what should I do to inherit the kingdom of heaven? He says, go and sell all that you have and follow me. And Jesus said it will be difficult for a rich man to enter heaven. Peter screamed and said, wait. You mean that all of us that have been following you, you mean that there's no reward? He says, no, that's not what I'm saying. And he said that everyone who has left father, mother, and all of that. Now, even in a voluntary organization, there is what they call KPIs. They are KPIs. Let me give you an example. We run Project Rap today. Project Rap has grown over, I mean, it's maybe like 15 years now, because the last time we did 10 years. Now, the growth of that particular thing is that, I mean, we've seen people who have graduated from Project Rap. The children from Project Rap are now donating to Project Rap. The ones, the orphans, the widows who have graduated. I mean, one of them got a first class, the last time, and she's an orphan. And, I was meant to go and stand as the father, on the day and all of that. In fact, there was some who actually, so what, everybody has a KPI. Within an organization, even in your structure, what is coming in? What is coming in into that organization? How are you spending what is coming in? All right, because to be honest, you are exempted from tax, right? But there are still some KPIs that you have. The inflows, the outflows, the lives that you are touching, are they the same lives every now and then, or they are recycling the same people? That kind of conversation, you must be intelligent enough to do the due diligence of an audit for that to happen. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for that. Another question: how do we navigate running a business and surviving on the proceeds from the business? It is ideal to pay myself a salary, but how do I balance having to cater for needs? Yeah.
Okay, so in a business, there's what they call the global profit and loss, right? So you get salaries from the business. At the end of the year, you'll draw a balance sheet. And that's why I kept saying the word an accountant. An accountant, who after they've gone through the audits, I hope you know that even after the entire thing, you have obligations to what's it called now? LIRS, FIRS, and all the different tax entities and stuff. After that, if you have profits, you either take a decision to take some part of the profit or reinvest back into the business. So there is what they call the global profit, so to speak. It only comes from an audit by an independent organization or accounting firm. When they do that particular, now don't think that this thing they are very expensive. They are young chaps. There are people who, for instance, are very hungry to do audits and all of that. They can help you audit your books. They will even present you with something like a document of all the things that you have done in a year. Not just the profit and loss, but all the different obligations where your money goes into. When you look at it at a glance, you will know whether you're profitable or not. So knowing that needs take up all the business. No, needs doesn't take up all the business inflow. The truth about the matter is that the business can, and if you have, for instance, in a business, if your outflow is much more than what you are having in, then it means that you need to increase something. What is that thing? Marketing. What is that thing? Probably staff. So it means that you might not actually be running a profitable business. If the needs of the business is taking it so much from the business and you're always in red, it means that you're probably overstaffed in the conversation, which means that you are probably overstaffed. That's why when we negotiate with even employees and stuff, when they're coming on board, we know what we can take in and we know what, and our business is such that they can fire you tomorrow. If you have actually gone and hired staff, there will be problem in terms of paying salaries. So that's why in advertising, what you find out is that when a person loses an account, they carry all the people in that particular place. So watch the entire conversation. It might mean that you need to increase your inflow. How do you increase your inflow? Marketing. marketing, do more marketing, chase your people to get more inflow. If your business needs are drawing that what you are bringing in, then you stop it at some point. In fact, sometimes it might even be, that's why if you go to the mall, for instance, you go to I think I went into this mall in Surulere, and virtually everybody did not have light in the entire place. It means that what it means is that what they are selling is not enough to give them power. And I think even the entire mall itself must have said, we are not supplying power to everybody again. So you'll go into a mall, you'll be finding yourself. All right. But because they can't afford to have that power conversation, and probably the ground rate is way more expensive than what they are selling. So they are really not profitable. They're probably struggling. That's why a lot of people are moving away from what we call, what's it called now? A store to online stores, because they understand that, they can get away with a lot of things on that particular thing. All right. So you need to look at the system again, all right, in such a way that, you balance it out. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, it does. Thank you so much, Pastor Wale. We shouldn't waste any much of your time. The class has been wonderful. We are grateful. I'm going to collect the slides for you so that I can share with them. And I think we can just all come out, on mute and say thank you, Pastor Wale, so that we end that.
Thank you,
Pastor
Wale.
Pastor Wale. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Pastor Wale.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Have a good one, everyone. Yeah, blessings.
Yes. So I just want to mention, I also want to mention that we have an Igomu entrepreneurs group. So if you are interested in joining the Igomu entrepreneurs group, you can join us. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Okay. So we're going to go back to our regular things while we let Pastor Wale go, so that we don't delay him. Yes, so we're going to go back to it. So I was saying earlier, there was someone who was about to introduce himself before I stopped him abruptly. My apologies, and brought in Pastor Wale. Please, if you are here, can you signify? If you are here, can you signify? Are you here?
Sorry, please, I did not get the question that you asked. I don't know what the issue is with my volume here. I'm having serious issue. I can't hear anything. Sorry. I have to put the phone to my ears.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Maybe just restart your phone. Maybe that would help. I said there was somebody that was about to introduce himself earlier.
Let me try restarting. Thank you very much.
Hi. Sorry to interrupt. The volume thing. Please check your audio. You're probably using your phone receiver instead of speaker.
Aha.
So there's a button audio. So you check it and then you switch from phone receiver to speaker, and it will solve the issue.
Okay, so yeah, thank you so much for that. So who was the person? There was somebody here then that wanted to introduce himself. See, since we can't find him, then we'll just.
The person I'm still here. Yes.
Okay, so please, apologies. So please kindly introduce yourself.
Okay.
Introduce yourself.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody.
Hi, good evening.
My name is Alexander Madabuchi.
Hi,
I'm a
Alexander.
website designer and a digital marketing expert.
Okay. Pleased to meet you, Alexander.
My company name is Datalake Nigeria Limited.
Oh yeah, I remember you now.
Okay.
Okay. Forgive me. I just wanted to do so that Pastor Wale could just quickly and go. Then we'll continue all of this. All right. So are there any more questions? Are there any more questions apart from joining the entrepreneurs group? If you want to do the entrepreneurs group, maybe send me a direct message. I will just find a way to just link up that group thing. I'll just find a way to do it if you're interested. The Gomo Entrepreneurs Group. Apart from that question, if you want to join the Gomo Entrepreneurs Group, please send me a DM. If there are other questions as relates to the training we just had, any other question that relates to the training we just had? Okay. So yes, if there are no okay, yeah. Okay, quickly, yeah.
So Pastor Wale, he didn't really answer the first part of my question, which was, when you are working with volunteers, how do you get people of good value? You get, there's this thing of, how the country is, if you are not paying them, you just get to have people want to just, you won't get the best value, because people who give that value want to be paid. So how do you manage that? And
okay, so it is a combination of prayer and passion. Let me put it that way. So you are praying about it that, okay, this thing that God has given you, this thing that you're interested in, this thing that you want to do, you need people that would come for it. It's how Jesus started to. Jesus Christ prayed for the help, and the people will be sent your way. Now, you also have to provide something for them in it. Jesus Christ told Peter, join me and I will make you fishers of men. You understand? So he was showing that, okay, this thing I want to do, yes, it might not be like a paid thing, but if you join me, there is value in it. So you also have to be able to tie the value that can come out of that thing with the value that they want and where they want to be or how they want to live their life. There are people who want to contribute to certain causes. There are people who want to be involved in certain things. For me, for example, I've always wanted to do trainings, helping young people, helping starters in marketing, helping creators. I run an agency in marketing, so I run a business and healthcare marketing agency. I manage creators. So in that whole marketing space, healthcare and marketing space, healthcare marketing space, regular business marketing space, and in the creator management or the influencer management space, I want to help as many people as I can. So there is the helping part and there's the money making part. So I'm helping and I'm also doing projects that make money. Do you understand? So if any project or anything in this area comes, I also provide my services to help people in those areas. So you also have to do the same. Find people who can also contribute or who want to contribute to the particular area where you're interested in or where you are pushing whatever it is that you're pushing. Not everybody will be. You just need to find those who will be. You understand? And find them and find a way to tie what you are doing and the results you are getting to the passion that they have and what they want for themselves. All right? That is the only way you can do that, right? Then as you make money or whatever it is that you make, show that, okay, this money that we make, show them that, okay, we can share this money together. We can do this stuff together. It might be difficult because of the whole don't work for free thinking that everybody has now, but you would get there. So prayer and your passion to do it. You understand? You just have to keep pushing. As I said earlier, I told myself, I want to leave this world empty. All right? I want to leave this world empty. I have so many things in my head. Is there someone I can share and pour all of this into? That's just how it is. Elijah poured into Elisha. You get what I mean? Elijah poured into Elisha. So, but there had to be an Elisha for the Elijah to pour. You get what I mean? All right. So that's the way it works. You can find them, prayerfully search for them. You will find them. Okay. I hope that solves it.
Yes.
Any other question? All right. Good. Any other question? You just joined the Zoom meeting. We're finished.